This is why I come back to this wonderful church. I'm treated so great. So, hi everybody. Let me sing you a little song. You can sing with me. I'll teach you the chorus in just a moment. But feel free if you want to get up and dance, you know, whatever you need to do. How I start my day is the way my day is gonna be. Actually, my year. How I start my year is the way my year is gonna be. And it's up to me to be grateful. And it's up to me to be kind. It's up to me to be thankful. And it's up to me, it's all up to me. That's kind of the big thing, isn't it? Always comes down to that. All right. Move in your seats. Let me see you move a little bit. Even Christine, even with all of your injuries, you can move a little wiggle. That first song I sang was for you, you know. All right, here's your part, everybody. It goes like this. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day when I wake, there's a choice I can make to be glad or be sad, forgive or stay mad. It's all up to me. What I focus on will be in my life. All right, here's your part. Every day I wake up and I say, you can do choreography. Today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. And when clouds fill my sky, I know I'll get by. When I see all that's right, the dark turns to light. I give thanks and I say, this is my lucky day. I'm alive. I'm alive. What more could I ask for? Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Oh yes, I love it. I love it. Just say that, just say, I love it. I love it. All right, here we go. How about this? Love it, yes I love it, yes I love it, love my life. Can you try that? Love it, yes I love it, yes I love it, love my life. Love it, yes I love it, yes I love it, I love my life. Love it, yes I love it, yes I love it, love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. I really love it now. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. I really love my life. Every day, that's what I say now. So if it's easy for you to write in the chat, I want you to write one thing you love about your life. If you can, if you feel like doing that, I'm looking at the chat. So tell me what you love about your life. My friends, my family, whatever. Every day I wake up, I say I love my life. My kids and nature, healing, friendships. Love it. I love it. I love seeing that. What else? 2 wonderful children. That's great. All right, so that's the question of the day. Do you love your life? Do you love your life? And if you don't, we got to look at that today. We're going to look at some of these things today. So it's nice to be with you. So happy New Year, new you. So my question for you this afternoon is, did you already lose, looking at your New Year's resolutions that somehow we all still do on some level? Did you already lose 10 pounds, start writing that novel you've been putting off, drink more water, read more books, get more sleep, sign up for a meditation and a marathon, and have you been flossing every night? All those things that we say we're going to do in the new year, have you been doing them? Not so much? Well, that's okay. Because I thought about something, and I got this from Cheryl Richardson, who said, what if the only New Year's resolution you made was loving yourself more? What if the only resolution you made for the entire year was, I vow to love myself more? And then to look at, well, what does that mean? What does loving yourself more mean? What does that mean for you to do or to be or to have? What does loving yourself more look like? When you ask yourself, what do I need? What does my heart have to say about a question like that? What does my heart have to say? That's just, that's one of my favorite exercises to do every morning. What does my heart have to say to me today? I truly believe that our spirits are constantly calling us out to be all of who we are. Now, that doesn't mean comparing yourself to anybody else. It doesn't mean writing that novel or losing the 10 pounds or whatever. It's just whatever is your path, whatever is your light. I truly believe that the spirit inside of us is always beckoning us and calling us to just be more of that. So David, show that little picture I sent you. This is what I think spirit is like. That in the midst of one presence and one power and active in the universe in my life, and Karen's talk, and there's this beautiful thing. Look at that little gorgeous being of spirit that is somehow in the midst of all of this cement, in that one little crack, has expressed itself. And that's I'm almost even thinking of taking a picture like this and having this be like on my website as my front page picture, because that to me is all the teaching that I do, is this picture. I truly believe that, the concrete represents all of life's challenges and all the stuff that we go through. But even in the midst of all this, look at that gorgeous flower that just came up from the one crack. You don't even see any other flowers around. It's just that one flower that came up through that crack. Isn't that great? Thank you, David. And, that's what I think that life is really all about, is just, even with all the stuff that's going on, and flooding and COVID and going to see Christmas tree lights and falling. I mean, it's like all this stuff happens to us. It just happens to us, and we keep waiting a lot of times for all the conditions to be right, and then I'll do what I'm going to do. But, that picture is just, it's like we just have this spirit inside that's just aching to just be expressed, whatever that means. Whether that means singing or writing your novel or being a great cook or being a great grandparent or whatever it is. That's what it really is. So, that is the question. What is my spirit calling me to do or to be or to have? But what is your spirit? That is a question. You could use that as an exercise. You could do that every morning. What is my spirit calling me towards? I have a song called The Call of Something More, that the chorus says, I feel the call of something more. I feel the call to be someone I've never been before. I feel the call of something more. And it's asking me, what am I here for? What are you here for? When we think about New Year's resolutions, it's like when you really come down to that core concept, what am I here for? What is your main value? That's all you need. And if my main value is love, everything I do should be coming from that place. So one of the things that I think is a great exercise is to say, what do I want more of this year? What do I want more of? More more health, more happiness, more peace, more joy, more fun, more whatever it is. What is your more? What more do you want? And, when you do an exercise like that and you kind of keep dropping down into what really lights you up, what really resonates with you, I have this ritual I do every year where I pick one word, and that's my word for the year. And I keep having all of my decisions and everything I do go filter through that word. So last year, my word was space. I just wanted more space in my life. I wanted, like before the pandemic, it was very common for me to be on the road all the time, and for me to come home from doing this whole weekend away someplace, come home, unpack my clothes, and start packing for the next weekend. And I was miserable. I loved what I did, but the travel part was just making me unhappy, and it was just getting me really, I kept pushing through, but it wasn't making me happy. And so when I looked at the idea of space last year, one of the greatest things I gave to myself, it was my 65th birthday, December 19th. Thank you very much. And what I did was something really radical, because usually in December I have a lot of, Christmas jobs and things that come in. And I said the best gift I could give to myself for my birthday is that word, is really testing that word on the last month of the year of having space, and to turn down, any gigs that came in. I just wanted to have a whole month where I call it chewing on something, meaning as soon as I get a job, I start chewing on what I'm going to do. Like my little brain just starts thinking about it. I said, what would it look like if I had a month that I didn't have any of that I just allowed myself to just have that mental space? I can't even imagine what would happen if I did 2 months of this, but 1 month was great. And it was so fabulous to just have that space. And this is one of the main things that I want to talk about today. As soon as you say that, the universe goes, oh, really? What about this? And so, of course, wouldn't you know, I got more gigs that month, and each of them was like, well, what about for this much money? And what about that? And we'll do it, we'll make it that much easier for you and give you this much. And it was such a process to keep choosing me. And, and to be an independent musician that is relying on jobs coming in, to turn something down is like, nah, we just don't do that. It's like, mayday, mayday. And it was really a process to just say, no, I want to feel what it's like to trust in the universe. Like Christine said, to just let it go to God, like I'm going to be okay. And I had a great month. And I was able to just go deeper down because I wasn't up here in my mind. I was able to drop down a bit. So I looked at what this next year's word was going to be. And my word for this year, drum roll, is play. I just want to play more. I want to have more fun. I want to have play in my life. And one of the main things that I want to do is have everything I do be a place of saying, oh, goody, I get to do this, versus I've got to do this. You all get that difference? I get to do this, especially if you do an oh, goody before it. I get to do this versus I've got to do this. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I chose to do a job. It was exactly what I want to be doing, but in my mind, I framed it as, oh, I've got to go do this. So whatever joy I had in getting ready for the job or whatever was being filtered through this, oh, I've got to go do this thing, I've got to travel, as opposed to making every decision I make this year related through that play be, oh, I get to do this. So today was an example, because you are my first job of the year. I want to wake up every time I have anything to do to say, oh, goody, I get to do this today. I get to be with all these great people at, in San Jose and all over the country, wherever y'all are listening from. I get to be with you. And so I want to say one thing about this, though, that's interesting. This process of choosing your word, which, by the way, David, maybe you could put this in the chat. I've given a few little things for you to do as homework. There's a thing called getoneword.com, and you can choose your word, and then you can print it out on this pretty little poster that can be ocean waves or all the beautiful things I'm seeing behind you. I have mine up here right now. It's an ocean, and it says fun and play. So you can make your own little one-word thing. But the one thing that I want to say about this, when you make your word, is you get to look at all your resistance towards doing stuff. Because, for example, play, for most of you would go, oh, yeah, what a great word, Karen. Have a good time. But for me, play is a process. Play is going to be whatever is supposed to come up around the word play is going to come up, and it already has. Because I come from a family where my parents were self-employed, and everything they did was always around work. They both worked all the time. Anytime we took a vacation, there was work involved. It was like a work vacation. And anytime we did anything that we were not a family of fun. It was just a lot of stuff was about you can have fun after you've done the work. Does anyone else have that, or is it just me? Where it's like on some level there's some kind of checks and balances. Like if you work really hard, then you can go get that ice cream. If you work really hard, then you can go out to a movie or something. So everything was always a checks and balances thing. And as I've said many times in my concerts and stuff, I always say, oh, you all get to see what my issues are by listening to my songs, that I wrote a song called I Give Myself Permission to Play. And a lot of times that's what it is giving ourselves that permission to do that word. So in my case, giving myself permission to play is things are going to come up around it. And it's usually that inner critic that says, oh, really? Who do you think you are that you can go off and go take a fun bike ride before you've gotten all your emails done? All that, whatever your inner critic says, who do you think you are? And in my mind, I can hear my dad saying the words, lazy, or you're loafing around, or anytime that I was relaxing, and there's that idea that every time you go past that belief system in you, that's when your inner critic comes up and starts to yammer away. And that's when you get to say, I know you are there, I hear what you say, but that is not my truth today. Can we all practice that? I think I've taught this to you before, but you can hear it again. So first of all, get your this down. So I know you are there, I hear what you say, but you know what? That is not my truth today. So when your inner critic comes up and says you can't do something or whatever, any goal that you have or what your one word is, you acknowledge it, but you say, that's not my truth. My truth is I'm learning a new way of being. So in my case, it's play. So I want to tell you how I got to this and how I'm going to execute my play. So a few months ago, I was at Unity Village in Missouri, Kansas City, and I was having lunch with a bunch of wonderful people, and there was a woman at our table named Reverend Paulette Pipe. I don't know if you've ever heard of her, but Paulette's a good friend of mine. I've known her for years and years and years. And Paulette, actually, David, I think I even gave you the link to her. She has a program called Touching the Stillness. And she
had her as a guest a number of months ago. We love her.
Yeah, oh good. Yeah, so Paulette, so if you know her then, she's just very refined, and she just has this way about her that's just I love her. But we're sitting at the table, and a few of us, Gary Lynn Floyd, if y'all know Gary Lynn Floyd, was saying he had a big birthday coming up in a few weeks, and I said, I have a big birthday coming up in about a month or so. And Paulette, who's usually just so very, lights up like a Christmas tree. I mean, I have never seen her more animated in my life of knowing her. And she goes, oh my God, I've got to tell you guys what I'm doing. So she had a big birthday this year, and she decided to do something really radical. Did she talk to you about this this little experience I'm telling you about?
Oh, tell me.
So she decided that to honor her birthday, she was going to take an entire year, and she called it the 3 T's. So every month she had to do one of these 3 things. She had to give herself a treat or a trip or a thrilling adventure. So let me explain these. The treat could be something as simple as flowers or buying fancy chocolate. I mean, it's something that's going to be a little out of your normal things. So for example, flowers, she said, she usually goes and gets, some flowers at Trader Joe's. Well, this had to be different. The treat had to be like spending the extra money and sending flowers to herself and signing it by a secret admirer, or going to a specific chocolate store that she loved, and they had really expensive chocolates, and going and treating herself to that. So it's doing something that's a little bit of a stretch it's not the everyday, treat yourself to whatever. It's a little extra, like you'd go, ooh, this is a real treat. The trips, obviously you're not going to take a trip every month, but it would be doing, at some point during the year, you're going to take maybe one trip or maybe 2. But in this case, and this is why this is all a process, in this case, it's about doing something before everything is all lined up and perfect. So in Paulette's case, she had always wanted to go to Hawaii. And before she even had the money, before she knew where she was going to go, before she knew anything, she set the date in her calendar. And she said, my intention is I'm going to Hawaii. I don't know how it's going to happen, but she set the date like 6 months later or whatever. Well, of course, we had Faith Rivera at our table, who she's going, well, I'm from Hawaii. I'll set you up. I can tell you where to go and who to stay with and everything. So, but the point is, it's like as soon as you say that intention, all of a sudden the universe conspires to make it happen for you. So all of a sudden, Faith is introducing her to a few of her friends that were there from Hawaii. And then the thrilling adventure has to be something that's just a little bit out of your comfort zone. And it doesn't have to be something like you're not going to go skydiving if that freaks you out. But in Paulette's case, she was talking about one of her trips was going back to England to see her family. And she said there was some building, I don't even know, I can't remember exactly what the story was, but it was some building that had a spiral staircase that went up and up and up really far. And it always had scared her. And she said that was going to be her thrilling adventure, to see if she could go past that fear and go through just breathing and doing all these kind of processes around going through that little adventure. So it can be any kind of thing that just makes your heart beat a little bit. So she tells us this story, and we are all completely like at the table going, tell us more. And we're all getting so excited about this. And I thought, well, wait a minute. My birthday's coming up. Could I do this? And when I looked at that, and I looked at, from that story came me getting my word of play. But I thought, here's the deal. I know how my inner critic works. And I know that when I say play, all of a sudden my brain's going to go, oh, no, you've got so much work to do. Your website needs to be redone, and you got to get this out. It's going to start piling on stuff. So I said, what do I need to do to make it that I keep this vision? So one of the things that I did, and I sent this to David too, that if you want to get this, that maybe he could send this to you. Or actually, I got this from Gretchen Rubin, who has a website called Happy for No Reason. No, that's Marcy Shimoff. Well, I'll figure it out. Anyway, but it's this. And you could this is just a little sheet that she has that I sent David the PDF of this. But on the top, it says, my 23 for 23. So it's 23 things on here. Now, this isn't 23 things I've got to go do. For me, these are 23 fun things that I'm going to make sure I do. That I'm going to just allow myself to go past my inner critic saying, have you worked hard? Do you deserve it? And also at the top it says my word for the year is, so it has a little place for me to say play, and I get to start to fill this out. But the key is, for me, it's having pontoons on a boat? Is that what they're called? Pontoons. You know what I'm talking about? So that when the waves start to come, the pontoons help you to even out. And so I need to have in place. Now, as I'm saying this, I think about some of you people going, "You're talking about play. How hard could this be?" But again, if you've got that belief system that play is bad, or that I'm going to be doing something radical by playing, you need all this, because it's a belief. It doesn't matter if it's a belief of play or how healthy you are or going for your dreams. It's a belief system you have about something. And so with these pontoons, what I'm talking about is for me to have a list in front of me of things that I want to do. And the other thing about it is it's creating these things before I think that I'm ready to have them. So for example, I said, okay, Spirit, because of course what happened first, and this is the most common thing that happens, is that as soon as I said, all right, what would be fun things to do? I went completely blank. I mean, good Lord, I live in the San Francisco Bay Area. There's 9 gazillion beautiful places to go and things to do and whatever. But that's how your critic works, is that you go blank. You just go into fog. I couldn't think of anything. So I said, okay, Spirit, today I want you to give me ideas. Just start filling my mind with ideas of fun things. So it was hysterical. I'm driving along. I'm in San Francisco, and what pulls up right next to me is, those buses, those open air buses. They're called the big bus. They have them in every city where it's like a jump on, jump off tourist thing that you can go on a bus and go around and get off, and then it's just a total tourist thing. Well, I look at these people up; they're freezing their butts off up on the top part of this bus, going over the Golden Gate Bridge. And I went, well, there's one thing. I think it would be great to be a tourist in San Francisco. I live in Marin. Take the ferry over to San Francisco and play around in the city and be a tourist and go on the big bus. So that was like number one on my list. I'm going to go on one of those big bus tours for a few hours. I come home, and wouldn't you know, on my email is this thing of a discount for the big bus. I mean, I belong to one of those things where, discounts of hotels and restaurants, and here's a discount. Here's a coupon. You want to go in the big bus? Right there. There's God saying, okay, girlfriend, here's your first thing. No excuses. It's discounted as well. But the thing is, I think one of the keys is that you start to see what it is that you want. You start to visualize who you want to be before it all comes into line and shows you, like, yes, it's time to do this. And one of my favorite quotes is from, did you ever see the movie Under the Tuscan Sun? Great movie. And this little paragraph just says it perfectly. This person tells the woman, she says, between Austria and Italy, there's a section of the Alps called the Simmering. It is an impossibly steep, very, very high part of the mountains. And the people built a train track over those Alps to connect Vienna and Venice. They built these tracks even before there was a train in existence that could even make the trip. I'll say that again. They built these tracks even before there was even a train that was in existence that could make the trip. They built it because they knew someday that train would come. And I really believe that that's what we're talking about here. It's looking at, what do you want your life to be? What do you want your life to be this year? Just even this year. Who is it that you want to be? And you start creating the seeds and planting those seeds. One of the things that I live my life by, this little principle right here. And when I don't know what I'm doing, when I don't have a plan, this is what my life looks like. But as soon as I say, I want to ride the big bus, bam, it's like the universe comes and says, oh, here's a discount coupon. And I'm thinking about a trip I want to take. And I'm going, oh, I don't know, can I afford it? And, I can't really do it. And da-da-da-da. But as soon as I say, Spirit, this is what I want to do, and I don't know how it's going to show up, but my intention is there, boom. Do you get the difference between that and that? And that's all it is. It's allowing yourself to throw the pebbles into the pond and see which ripples back to you. You never know. But you have to keep throwing it out. You have to keep saying, this is what I want to do. And allow yourself to just imagine this year. Imagine your word. Imagine, if you want to, another great tool is there's a site called futureme.com. Is it futureme.org or futureme.com? I can't remember. I think I gave that to you. No, .org, futureme.org. And it's a site where you write a letter to yourself and you decide, send this to me in a month or a week or a year or 6 months. But you say, and this is one of my homework assignments this week, is to say, and you make it in the future. Dear me, let me tell you about what this year has been of play. I've had so much fun, and I've gotten work done, and I played. And from my play, my work was that much better, and I was that much happier. It's just taking that time to say what it is. And yes, it's important to look back and look at what you want to release. I know you're going to do a ceremony about that this month. And one of my favorite expressions is stop watering dead plants. Like, look at the things that are in your life that no longer work and get rid of them. Just start to slowly do micro movements of weeding stuff out, because you're set for future. What do you want in the future? What do you want to have happen in your life right now? And that starts to happen right now when you start to just really look at, this is the arc. This is the arc that I want. So with that, I want to, where is this? Wait a second. I want to sing you one more song here. I just had too much fun. We went overtime. I'm sorry about that, David, but you have to believe that you're going to receive it. So it goes like this. I do believe that I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. So that's the whole thing right there. It's just declaring it, opening to it, saying, I believe it. Sing with me now. I do believe I will receive. I will receive. I just have to know. I just have to know. And then declare it to be so. And then declare it to be so with an open mind. With a little bit of time, just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, if it serves my highest good, then it would be mine. Yeah, you're right, Christine. Condition that play is a reward. Yeah, great. I do believe I will receive. I will receive. What do you want? What do you want? I just have to know, then declare it, and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, if it serves my highest, that's what it's all about. If it serves your highest good, it will be mine. I do believe. I will receive. I will receive. Just have to know. Just have to know. And then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. I do believe. I do believe. I will receive. I will receive. Just have to know. Just have to know. And then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. Highest good, then it is mine. I do believe. Sing with me now. You got it. I will receive. Just have to know. Just have to know. Declare it. And then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it is mine. Anything I want, it is mine. That's your line. You sing. Anything I want, perfect health, it is mine. Perfect health, it is mine. How about joy and peace? It is mine. Declare that now. Just say, joy and peace, it is mine. And how about love, love, love? It is mine. Love, love, love. It is mine. If it serves my highest good, it is mine. Just say that with me. If it serves my highest good, it is mine. If it serves my highest good, it is mine. So it is yours. And I give you a homework assignment this week of write down your 3 T's, even if it's just one thing. What is your thrilling adventure? What is the treat you're going to give yourself, even if it's just for January? And what is your trip? So try doing those 3 things. Thanks for listening, everybody.